Imagine walking into a supermarket on any given morning. The aisles are filled with pristine produce, fruit that looks like it's straight out of a magazine, shelves overflowing with bottles lined up with military precision, clothes neatly folded and stacked, appliances in shiny boxes. Everything seems perfect, as if the world of abundance were infinite. But behind that perfection lies a rarely revealed secret: waste. Tons of food that will never be eaten, clothes that will never be worn, devices that will end up in a landfill without ever being turned on. The surprising thing is that this waste is not an accident, but a key part of how the modern economy works. Chapter 1. The invisible waste that sustains the market. Every day, in Europe alone, more than 150,000 tons of food are wasted. And we're not talking about what's left on restaurant plates, but about products that were never sold. Bread baked in the morning that's thrown away at night. Fruit recalled because it's not pretty enough. Or dairy products eliminated because they expire in a week. Why does this happen? Because the market prefers to maintain the illusion of abundance. If the shelves aren't stocked, consumers believe the product isn't popular or that something is wrong. So, to avoid shattering that illusion, more is produced than is actually needed, and what's left over is thrown away. Historical example. In the 1950s in the United States, bakeries began producing much more bread than they sold because advertising conveyed the idea of abundance as synonymous with prosperity. Since then, waste went from being a problem to a sales strategy. Chapter 2. Pricing ecosystems. Why people throw away more than give away. Here, a brutal paradox arises. Why does a supermarket throw away products instead of lowering their prices until someone buys them? The answer lies in what economists call price ecosystems. Price is not just what we pay, but a message to the consumer. If bread was sold every night for 10 cents, the next day no one would buy it for €1. The store would rather throw it away than damage the product's perceived value. Real-life example, luxury brands like Burberry were caught destroying millions worth of clothing and accessories to avoid devaluing their brand with excessive discounts. Burning new clothes seems irrational until we understand that logically it's more profitable to maintain the aura of exclusivity than to lose margins. Chapter 3. Waste beyond food. Technology and fashion. Waste isn't limited to food. In the fashion world, millions of garments are produced each year that will never be sold. Some are incinerated, others are stored until they expire with trends. The tech industry does the same. Apple, Samsung, and other companies destroy unsold devices to keep prices under control and avoid damaging the market for future releases. And remember the case of the video game consoles? Thousands of Atari units were buried in a New Mexico desert in the 1980s because it was cheaper to destroy them than to lower their price. That console graveyard became a symbol of corporate waste. Chapter 4. The hidden cost of waste. Here we come to the most important thing. Who pays for all this? The consumer, because prices include the cost of waste. The small producer who cannot compete with chains that overproduce and then throw away. The planet, absorbing tons of CO2, garbage and pollution. For example, producing 1 kilo of meat can require 15,000 litres of water. If that meat is thrown away, not only is money lost, but also enormous natural resources. Chapter 5. Distrust in the official economy. Governments often publish statistics on inflation, growth and consumption. But in these figures, waste is glossed over. GDP measures total production, even though much of that production ends up in landfills. This creates a gap between what the numbers say and what people feel. Because even though GDP is rising, people notice that food is more expensive, that clothes don't last, that too much is thrown away. This is how distrust in the official economy arises. We feel that the figures don't reflect real life. Example. In the 2000s, Japan reported stable growth while tons of perfectly edible food were being destroyed because it didn't meet strict labeling regulations. Was that progress, or simply waste counted as well? Chapter 6. Is this model sustainable? The waste economy confronts us with a key question. Is the system we use really efficient? From a strictly capitalist perspective, yes. Waste maintains prices, gives stability to certain industries, and sustains the illusion of abundance. But from a social and environmental perspective, it's a broken system. Because waste doesn't create real value, it just moves numbers on the balance sheet. And in the long term, that waste erodes trust, sustainability, and the future of the global economy. The next time you see a perfectly organized shelf or a window display of immaculate clothing, remember, not everything you see will end up in the hands of a consumer. Much of it will end up in the trash. The waste economy is the hidden side of the system, an uncomfortable mirror that shows us the extent to which the abundance we enjoy is built on inefficiency and illusion. Understanding this not only helps us question official data, but also reflect on the world we want to build, one of real abundance, or one of waste disguised as prosperity. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos where we uncover the secrets of the economy.